A hearty good morning to all. From a stepping stone course book, I'll explain a lesson for you today. So turn page number 61. In a page number 61, we have lesson 8, Rip Van Winkle. Rip Van Winkle is a short story of fantasy. First of all, let us have some talkings about this story, alright? Rip Van Winkle was a kind-hearted and helpful. He was fond of children and was happy fishing and hunting in a small way. He was very fond of his dog, but all this goodness was pushed to the background because of his laziness. Dame Van Winkle was worried about her husband's laziness that was reflected in the shabby and unkempt children. She nagged her husband and was not successful in changing him. Wolf was a faithful dog. Although he was scared of Dame Van Winkle, he stuck around for his master. Now, let me tell the outlines of the story, alright? Rip Van Winkle was very good, kind, and helpful, but a very lazy man. His wife used to always scold him about his laziness. He runs off to the mountains when his wife nags him. So, one day to escape his wife's nagging, Rip took his dog Wolf and went high up the Catskill Mountains and rested. Just as he was about to start back home, he heard someone call him and saw a strange man climbing up. Helpful Rip helped him carry the heavy keg he had on his shoulder. Together, they reached a place where many strange looking people were playing in complete silence and with serious faces. The stranger emptied the contents of the keg into tall glasses and all of them drank. Rip enjoyed the drink and had a few glasses and fell into a deep sleep. When Rip woke up, it was bright sunny morning and Rip was all alone. There was a rusty gun in place of his well-oiled one. With great difficulty, he managed to get up and climb down to the village. Now, he could not recognize anybody there. People stared at him and he realized he now had a long beard. His own house was in shambles. One old woman suddenly recognized him. She told everyone that he was Rip Van Winkle, who had gone with his gun 20 years ago and not been heard of since. Rip's daughter heard this and took him to her house. Rip soon once again became the favorite of all the children. Now, let us step into the lesson. Before starting the lesson, let us talk about the characters. There are 6 characters in this lesson. First, Rip Van Winkle, who is a kind-hearted man. Second, Dame Van Winkle, who is Rip's wife. Third, Wolf, who is Rip's faithful dog. Fourth, a stranger. Fifth, an old woman. Sixth, Rip's daughter, whose name is not mentioned in the lesson. Welcome back to the lesson, Rip Van Winkle. In a village at the foot of Catskill Mountains, there lived a simple, kind, and helpful man called Rip Van Winkle. The children and elders alike loved Rip. He helped the children at sports with playing things, to fly kites and shoot marbles. Beside this, he told them long stories. He helped the women of the village too, but his only problem was that he was lazy and spent the day fishing or hunting few squirrels or wild pigeons. His farm and house were falling apart and his children were uncared for and unkempt. His wife, Dame Van Winkle, always scolded him for his laziness. So, one day what happened? To avoid his wife's anger, he went high up on the mountains. With whom? With his dog Wolf. But as he was about to climb down the mountains and get back to the village, he heard a voice. Rip Van Winkle! Rip Van Winkle! He looked around but could not view any soul. Then what did he do? Again he started going down to the village. Alright? Then he heard the call again and the wolf started growling. Okay? Now Rip looked at the same direction and saw a strange old man climbing up. Rip's nature was to help anyone, isn't it? So what did he do? He quickly went to help him. The stranger was strangely dressed. He was short, old fellow with thick bushy hair and an untidy beard. Rip helped him carry the heavy cake he had on his shoulder. Then they reached a place where there were many more similar strange people. They were serious and silent, playing nine pins. Later, the stranger poured out from the keg into tall glasses for all to drink. He served Rip too. Rip liked the drink and had a few glasses, and then fell asleep. When he woke up, he was alone, and it was morning. His well-oiled gun was replaced with a rusty one, and the wolf was not there. He whistled and shouted his name, but no dog was to be seen. Fearing that his wife would shout at him for being away the entire night, he returned to the village. For his surprise, nobody could recognize him, and his house was all broken. He was confused. When he touched his chin, he found that his beard has grown a foot long. What had happened to him, do you know? After taking the drink, Rip Van Winkle had slept for 20 years. In the meantime, his well-oiled gun rusted. His beard had grown a foot long and his house was all broken. 20 years were passed and in those years no one had seen him. After 20 years, he is back to his village. So, he got some changes in the village and the people. He himself was also changed, isn't it? Now what happened? An old woman came closer to him and stared. She exclaimed, "Oh, you are Rip Van Winkle. Welcome home again." Hearing this, Rip's daughter came and took him home. Okay? Soon he was children's favorite uncle once again. Like this, our lesson is over. Till then, keep on learning. Take care. Thank you.